Hello again, guys. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another round of racing with the Midnight Oil Racing League's GT7 Championship. This being round 5, obviously season 3. So we're at Kyoto Driving Park, Yamagiwa Miyabi for this round. Two 25-minute races in this one. We'll have a quick rundown through the standings. So there is a change at the top of the standings. Too Fast now leading the way, and that is Wayne G. He's got 148 points. Mawson's down to second place with 145. Thomas not far behind with 140 points. Ice Chan currently fourth with 134. Chuck is in fifth with 112. We've got Silent in sixth with 107. Dan Bailey's in eighth with seventh with 90 points. We've got Blood Diamond in eighth with 87. Vexed is in ninth with 86. We've got Asbo in 10th with 79. Jerry's in 11th with 56, Clutch is in 12th with 51, Danny Jones only picking up 5 points so far, and Dirty Dubs still yet to pick up any points in this season. I don't think he's actually going to make an appearance this season, but he did tell me that he will be back, hopefully next season. So, after a very close qualifying, and it was very close throughout the grid indeed, Thomas manages to secure pole position with Wayne G starting in second place. Mawson's going to start in third. We have Dan Bailey starting in fourth, Chand in fifth, Chuck in sixth, Clutch in seventh, Blood in eighth, Vexed in ninth. We got Pickle in 10th, and Jerry Smiles will start in 11th place. Without further ado, shall we get into this first race of the evening? Hopefully you won't see too many shenanigans, but I can tell you there was definitely some shenanigans going on within the lobby. The klaxon sounds and they are off. It looks like Vex getting a really good getaway in the background, as you would expect in that Citroen. Bit of a rocket ship off the line, and he's actually made it up to 6th place already, challenging Blood Diamond up the inside. Thomas is going to hold it around the outside there of Mawson. Wayne G up into the lead. Dan Bailey follows through into 2nd place. Got Ice Chan now in 3rd. Thomas down to 4th, and look at that lag there from Ice Chan. That is going to make it very difficult to get a pass done on that car. Nobody's going to really know where he is on track. So we now have Thomas there in 4th place, Mawson in 5th, Vexed is there in 6th. We have Chuck now 7th, going up the inside there of Blood Diamond taking a bit of a wider line. Is he going to have the inside for the next sector though? He stays just ahead as they come out of the sweeping left-hander. Will Chuck be able to go for a move up the inside into this hard braking zone? Not quite close enough on that occasion. Pickles there in 9th, Jerry now 10th, and Clutch down in 11th. So Wayne G, not hampered, off the start. Starting to try and stretch his legs now, opting for the medium compound in the first stint. We got Dan Bailey on the hards, Chand also on the hard compound. We got Thomas on the hards, Mawson on the hards, Vexed on the hards, now being challenged by Blood Diamond. Is Blood going to be able to set a move up? He's going to be having a look now up the inside into this next hard braking zone. And does manage to find his way through as Vexed actually goes slightly deep there. Open the door. Vexed maybe getting caught out on the harder compound tyre. Blood Diamond actually opting for the soft. Looking up the inside now of Mawson. Gets up the inside of Thomas. Manages to move up into 4th place. Thomas is now down to 6th. Actually losing a place to Mawson there as well. Mawson moves up to 5th. Then we have a battle behind between Thomas and Vex. Vex looking to try and get the move done. Couldn't quite get past the Ferrari. And more positions being made. Oh, there, yeah. Tiny bit of contact there between Chand and Blood. I don't know. Yeah, we're not too sure where Chand's car is on track at the moment. Anytime anyone gets close, it starts getting a little bit erratic. Now we've almost got 3 wide in the background on the approach now to turn 1. Mawson goes a little bit deep, allows Thomas up the inside. Vex is going to try and follow through as well. Can't quite manage to get through though. And everybody doing a really good job at the moment. A lot of people opting to run the hards for the first time in this season. Wayne G still in the lead of the race, and with quite a handsome gap now over 2nd place Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey, who will have the sister Mercedes of Blood Diamond for company soon. Blood Diamond only a few temps back now, but how long will he be able to take them softs for? We're on lap 2 now, and that front right is almost dead. It's almost gone. Still putting in purple sectors. How much can he close to the Mercedes ahead? So Ice Chan doing really well, holding that 4th place at the minute, being challenged now by Thomas. And you can see, anytime anyone gets close, that car starts erratically moving side to side. It seems to be even worse through the braking zones and through the corners. Hopefully that's not going to become a feature in this race, but I think it's going to catch a few people out. You don't really want to be followed too closely to a car ahead when it's doing that business. So Thomas going to have to bide his time here. But Chan actually goes deep on the exit there, picks up the grass. That allowed Thomas to come through. Mawson actually manages to move through as well. And Blood Diamond must have had a moment somewhere. He's lost that position now to Thomas. In fact, his tyres died. He's going to be peeling into the pits as Mawson now has Vex pulling alongside. Chan covers off the inside on the approach to turn 1. It's going to be 3 wide on the entry. Chan manages to stay just ahead. Vex actually sweeping around the outside there of Mawson. Can't quite get past Chand. And if we have a little on board, this is what Vex is having to deal with ahead of him at the moment. And Mawson getting a really good run up the hill there. I think he's going to manage to return the favour up the inside as Vex does go a little bit deep there, opens the door. Not wanting to fight too much on the hards, and I can tell you that the lag we can see does become a feature later on. So Chuck being challenged now by Pickle in the background. Pickle looking for the better exit, almost managed to come alongside the Peugeot, has to sit back under the rear wing. So 5 minutes into, nearly 6 minutes into this 25-minute race, the first of 2 races of the evening. So there were rumours that the Porsche had a little bit of a nerf coming into this round, but it actually looks like it's still doing pretty well at the moment in the hands of Pickle. Jerry now 9th. So Clutch up to 10th now. Only about a second behind Jerry at this stage. And Blood Diamond obviously went in for that early pit stop, running the softs in the first stint. Is it going to turn into a 2-stop for Jason? Not too sure. Will he be able to take them hards all the way to the end now? He's got his work out for him. Too Fast leading the way in the standings at the moment and leading the way in this race. His current fastest lap at 2:21.018. And actually putting a faster lap in there, 2:20.9. So closest person still to him at the moment is Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey there in second place. He's a few seconds back at this stage, but he is on the harder compound tyre, so should be able to run them for longer. Thomas starting to creep now in towards the slipstream range of the car ahead, which is Dan Bailey. So like Mawson in the background there, just grazing the barrier. That's allowed Vex to come through. And actually, I think Chuck finding the rear bumper there of the Supra as Mawson got going again. Not really a lot he could do. It was a bit of a tricky part of the track. So Vex up to 5th. He still has Ice Chan to deal with. That car skirting its way around Yamagiwa Miyabi. So Vex had a really good start. He's looking, well, he's in a good position at the moment. Them hards aren't looking too worn at this stage. He'll be able to take them for quite a few more laps. What compound tyre will he go on to? And will he be able to get past the GTR of Chand that is quite erratic at the moment? I think you can see there, Vex not wanting to get too close. Just trying to follow in the wheel tracks at the moment. Will he be able to go for a move here into the final turn? Not quite. May have been able to get alongside, but very sketchy with the side-to-side motion of that GTR. And Vex does finally look around the outside. Will he manage to get the move done? Chan's going to hold it on the inside, probably later on the brakes. In fact, Vex going for... looks like she's going for a bit of a switchback. But yeah, no, still, every time he gets close to that GTR, having to back off again, which is going to compromise him here. He might lose the position now to Moulton. Moulton has got that Supra back up to speed again. And when he does have a cheeky look up the inside, isn't quite close enough, has to dip back in. Has got Chuck for company there as well. Chuck has been making waves in this race. Jerry Smiles has managed to pass Pickle. Pickle down to 8th now. Jerry Smiles' tyres not looking too good at this stage, or neither are Pickles, to be fair. So Clutch now under the attention of Wayne G. Wayne G has served his first pit stop of the race. He took the mediums in the first in, swapped them over for a set of hards. And he looks pretty rapid on them. Closes right up under the braking zone. Clutch managing to stay ahead for the minute. How long can he keep that Audi ahead of the Dodge Viper of Too Fast? This next sector, this final sector, not really, maybe on the exit here, a potential overtake opportunity into the last turn. But not too easy to go side by side. Clutch actually goes a little bit deep on the exit there. Winnie G almost getting the switch back. He's going to switch over now to have a look up the inside. He'll be on the inside for turn 1 now. And will surely get the move sewn up, and he does, up into 9th place. Clutch has to take the slightly wider line. Blood Diamond started to creep up onto the back of him now, but look, he has definitely been using them hards, putting them hards through their paces. Trying to get the most out of them, but he might have used a bit too much already. Well, I think the Mercedes quite heavy on its front tyres, being a front rear car. So now Thomas leads the way. We have Dan Bailey in 2nd place. Ice Chan still holds on to that 3rd. Vex has dropped to 6th. We have Chuck now up to 4th. Moulton's there in 5th. Vex down to 6th. Jerry not far off him in 7th. We've got Pickle there in 8th. Wayne G ahead of Clutch now. And then Blood Diamond So Chuck managing to get past Moulton now. Is he going to be able to get a move done on the GTR of Chand ahead? It's going to be a tall order. And I think with the nature of the tyre wear around this track and the nature of the tyre wear within this season, obviously it was up this season, I think everybody very tentative about their tyres, so that's why we're not seeing too many moves being made at the moment. And the race becomes a little bit of a procession. Although Mawson's still trying to put the pressure onto Chuck in the RCZ. His tyres do look a little bit better. So we go on board with Mawson as he's chasing down Chuck. Chuck looking to try and get the move done now on Chand, but is he going to be able to find his way through? Has to sit behind for the minute. Hard to judge where the GTR is, especially through the turns. Look how bad it gets through the turns. Oh, Mawson almost losing the rear there. Does well to keep it going, and Chand goes a little bit deep. Has that allowed Chuck the opportunity? He has got plenty of room to be able to get past now, and he does manage to get past. So that might be the best opportunity there to get a move done. It looked like Chand actually into the barrier, so Vexed has managed to finally get through, has he? So he has. I fancy he will be pitting at the end of this lap. Mawson looks for the move up the inside there against Chuck. Chuck still retains that third place for the minute. So Thomas still out in the lead with the fastest lap at the moment, 2:20.486. I would imagine he will be dipping into the pits at the end of this lap, as will Dan Bailey. Chuck and Mawson can potentially stay out for another lap, go for the overcut, but will they decide to dive into the pits? Vex closes the gap up to Mawson once again. I think, so yeah, Thomas is into the pits, Dan Bailey's in, Chuck follows, Mawson, Vexed. Chand will surely be going in as well, and he does. Jerry will follow. So Wayne G opting for the mediums in the first race. He's going to move through. Will he? Oh, Thomas comes out of the pits just alongside, but Wayne G does get the position up back into the lead of the race. Thomas now on the fresh mediums though. And I don't think Wayne getting as much of a gap with the overcut as he would have liked. But will he be going for a two-stop as well? I'm not sure. I think he's got enough fuel to make it to the end of the race at this stage. We're going to have to keep an eye on that battle. So Chuck back into third. Mawson's there in fourth. Dan Bailey now down in fifth. Ice Chand in sixth, being followed closely by Vexed in seventh. Vex finding himself in this position once again. It's Dan Bailey now on fresh mediums, as is Mawson, as is Chuck, as is Thomas. Thomas still looking to try and close that gap to Wayne G. And in fact he has, look at that, look at the overspeed he has on the exit of that sweeping left-hander. Wayne G has to cover the inside here. can't allow Thomas the opportunity to have a look up the inside, because he will go for the move. It's actually pretty interesting to see the differing lines from the two cars. Looks like Wayne fancying the tighter line, whereas Thomas seems to take a wide sweeping line on the approach and then tucks it tight into the apex. Whereas Wayne G seems to hug the inside quite a lot, which is helping him defend nicely at the moment, but it looks like Thomas maybe has a run here. Come down the start finish. Start lap 9. Taking the higher line through turn 1. And actually gets around the outside there, up into the lead now. So, yeah, does manage to finally get a move done. Wayne G has to tuck back into the slipstream, but he is on the hard compound tyre and they're a few laps older than Thomas's medium, so at a bit of a disadvantage at this stage. So Chuck doing a decent job of holding on to that third place to Mawson. Mawson still definitely got a lot left in that car. But a Peugeot is a pretty good car, to be fair, to be trying to fight against. Dan Bailey puts in a purple sector there, trying to close the gap to the top 4. So we still have a battle here between Ice Chant and Vex. Vex has a look up the inside, can't manage to quite get past. A little bit tentative there again, and he just every time he gets close, he cannot see where that car is, and then just, can't see the apex really. The car all over the place, very distracting, it gets it all wrong. So Chand will surely finish the race now. So Jerry up into 7th place. We have Blood Diamond now in 8th, Clutches in 9th, Pickle in 10th, Vexed has got going again, but yeah, that's really hurt his race now. Looks like he maybe went for a bit of a different strategy, was going to go for the mediums, actually clicking X too fast, came out on the sauce, but looking like the sauce would have gone to the end from this stage. But I can tell you now, I did decide to retire the car. I just lost the will. It was a very hot day, I'd had a long day as well, was very tired, so binned it off into the pits. Not really anything that Chan could have done, and I do hear that he managed to get his connection sorted for the second race, which I probably should have stuck around for. But we'll still have full coverage of it anyway. So Thomas now leading the way. He's got the fastest lap, 2:18.715 on lap 9. Aided by the medium compound tyre, with a nice gap over Wadey G in 2nd place. Chuck still holds on to that 3rd, and actually creating a bit of breathing space over Mawson now as well. So Mawson still running in 4th, still somewhere ahead of Dan Bailey, although you can hear that Mercedes starting to close in the background. And yeah, you can see Chuck and Mawson ahead now, which is going to give him some incentive to try and close the gap. We have Chan skirting, trying to close the gap as well in the background to Dan Bailey. Actually not too far behind, putting in some pretty decent laps as well on the mediums. How long will the mediums last though? In fact, I think, yeah, they'll go to the end of the race. 23 and a half minutes into this 25-minute race now. Probably only another 2 laps. In fact, I think it was 11 laps, 11 or 12 laps. So Jerry Smiles giving Blood Diamond a run for his money. 7th and 8th. Oh, and has Jerry got a run here? Has he got a move done up the inside into the hairpin? Doesn't quite manage to get past, and he's got Clutch not far behind as well. Clutch waiting in the wings there. Yeah, Jerry really giving Blood a run for his money at the moment. Up the inside now. Blood manages to cover it off. Jerry's going to have to sit back behind. Can he get the run down the start finish into turn 1? Tucked right under the wing of the Mercedes, and then we have Clutch there in 9th place. Pickle was 10th. Vex has now gone for an early shower. Yeah, looks like everybody's settled into their positions now. I'm not sure we're going to see too many battles come to the end of this race. Everybody should get to finish their final lap. The Clutch has closed right up to Jerry now, and his tyres looking pretty decent at this stage. Will he be able to get the move done? Blood Diamond's going to be starting to feel that understeer. His front right has died an absolute death once again. Oh yeah, and he gets it a little bit wrong there. That's allowed Jerry through. Has Clutch managed to come through as well? He has. Blood Diamond also picking up half a second's penalty. That might mean that Pickle gets that position too. Really struggling now with the tyre wave. We're going to have to go on board with our race leader though. Oh, as Chand trying to make moves at the end there. But Thomas, in this first race of the evening, looking to take the checkered flag and the win. Comes around the final turn now. Has the fastest lap on lap 9 as well, a 2:18.715. There we go, crosses the line, takes the win. GG Thomas. Wayne G looked like he had a really good strategy to start off with, but just the hards weren't enough in the end. We'll take that 2nd place though. And Chuck, what a race there from Chuck. Chuck will finish in... Oh, actually, no, Chuck's run out of fuel. So Ice Chand in the Skirt-Mobile takes 3rd place. Dan Bailey in 4th place. Mawson in 5th. Chuck will finish in 6th. Clutch has managed to get past Jerry Smiles now. Will Pickle be able to get through as well? Clutch finishes in 7th. Jerry was 8th. Pickle 9th. And Blood Diamond will finish in 10th. That was the first race of the evening, guys. We'll be back for the second one shortly, so I will see you there. Goodbye.